Hello everyone, and this is episode 72 of Double Cross Anime. We doing this special postcard today, which is the first impression of the fall 2019. We're gonna do that in the reverse um,
Alphabetical order.
alphabetical order. Um, I must say though, this season is the season of isekai. It have like five, six premieres of isekais. They are
Yeah.
all basically the same.
Well, we're gonna talk about one of them in
We're
this
gonna
episode.
talk. Yep, we're gonna specifically talk about one of them uh in this week.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say
Um,
that one was the same as all the others.
yeah, there is a lot of comedy on isekai comedy though, like make
Yeah.
fun of the genre, so to
Yeah,
speak.
I'm actually encouraged by that. I think we're reaching like the post isekai phase of the
Oh,
isekai wave.
yeah,
You know, like
hopefully.
like post punk or post rock, where the genre kind of morphs and becomes something a little bit different. I think that's what we might be
Yep.
experiencing here.
That's right, because yeah, forget about me, who said that it was generic. I think like I watched all the five, six isekais this season, and only like two of them was pretty generic. The rest of
Did you
them,
actually watch Assassin's Pride?
oh, I haven't watched that. Yeah, is that isekai as well?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All
I
right.
haven't seen it. I have no interest in seeing it.
So I
Um,
still have one more to finish, but I read the manga. I don't remember the isekai stuff, but yeah, well, whatever. Um, yeah. The rest of them, even like the bookworm isekai, I think it's alright. It just have like um, the production is not great, but it's still an alright isekai for me. Um,
yeah.
what else?
I
The
with all the stuff going on with China recently, you know how like a bunch of American companies are kind of threatening action against people who are criticizing China and supporting Hong Kong. Have you heard about any of this?
we have our own problem with China as well in Australia. All right,
Ah,
go on. Yeah.
I see. Uh, that's just what's going on with China and Hong Kong, and specifically like companies like Disney and the NBA, our basketball league, and Blizzard, a video game company, and a bunch of others.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're kind of trying to tamp down on any Chinese criticism.
Hmm.
Anyway, the reason I bring this up is because some people have speculated that the reason that the isekai boom is like heating up even more now, it seems,
Mm-hmm.
is because Chinese audiences like love that shit.
Oh, come on.
Because MMO games are so huge over there,
All right.
um, that like the kind of anime that reflects that massive multiplayer sort of experience, I guess, is what China wants to see. Like they're the highest rated shows on Bilibili, their big streaming service and stuff.
I hope that isn't the case though. I hope that everything um not happening revolving China, because I heard the same thing with Hollywood trying to like pandering with Chinese audiences. Um,
Right.
is that
I don't know if I would use the word pandering, but like there's definitely a consciousness, I think, of the Chinese market, and so
there is? Yeah.
there are some things that they, that can't go in your film if it's going to do mega bucks in China. I don't know what their currency is called.
Well, yeah.
Uh, so like you just have to be aware of that at
Oh,
all times as an artist even now, which is kind of limiting. I don't know. I'm not an expert on any of this stuff, but I mean, just talking about isekai kind of reminded me of like that's where the money might be coming from. That's where the production companies might be greenlighting all this stuff because they know they're going to get a big return on their investment from a foreign market.
yep. All right. Sorry. It's not yen that was talking about. Yen is Japanese. It's yuan.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, yen is definitely Japanese.
Um.
Yuan, sure. If you're going to make mega yuan,
Yep.
you have to, mind your business.
All right. How you feel about the season so far? Before we start.
I think it's actually very good.
Really. All right.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that I'm interested in,
Yep.
like more than usual. I mean, I would say that this season is on par with Spring, which I also really enjoyed.
All right.
So 2019, like, everything could fall apart right here at the very end, but it's looking to be somewhat good for your boy over here.
All right. That is because I think the season start for 10 days now, and the first 7 days for me is really underwhelming. It's not.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a lot of good stuff, but for the last 2 or 3 days, the last 2 days specifically, it has been really good. Like a lot of promising anime have been showing air.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that happens a lot, actually, because, like, for example, Noitamina series are 11 episodes instead of 12 or 13.
Yep.
So they usually start later in the year. And also, like, the sequels to Chihaya Furu, Psychopaths, and High Score Girl, which are airing in late October and we won't be talking about here.
Right.
Like, whoever's in charge of their televised schedule just push them back, probably because they know that those shows have existing followings, and they like I feel like some of the weaker shows, people feel as though they need to get ahead of the curve and like start people talking about them right away. They need that word of mouth. Whereas the good shit, it speaks for itself to a certain degree, so you can push it back a little bit and it'll air later in the season.
Yep. That makes sense. They save the best for last.
Yeah, kind of. Although, I mean, different production companies and different television networks and stuff, it's not as though they're all collaborating. Like, they're all competing directly against one another.
Yep.
I just think the general idea that maybe some of them share is that, you lead with the stuff that's perhaps not as, high budget or high effort or as well scheduled, in terms of production cycle. Because you just got to get that stuff in people's faces as fast as possible.
Right.
So that's why you get a bunch of crap near the start.
All right. So let we start with our A shows. Shall we?
Sure. So we're going to start in reverse alphabetical order. So what's first?
The first one would be Vinland Saga, episode 13.
Yes, indeed. And it's too bad that this is not episode 12.
Yep, I would say that I prefer episode 12 more than episode 13. But how do you feel about the new OP and EDs?
Not a fan.
All right, huh?
Not a fan.
I haven't watched the full OP though.
It was at the start of the episode.
Yeah, but I skip it to watch the thing first.
But it was a new OP. You skipped it?
I heard like the first 2 verbs and I was like, oh, okay. I want to see the content.
Damn. That's disrespectful.
It's alright. I got like the whole season to watch the new OPs.
I mean, do you like Man with a Mission? Do you remember the Inuyashiki theme song at all? The one that goes, "Hit me on the ground."
Hit me on the ground. Hit me on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you like that song?
It's alright.
Okay, it's the same band.
So
they also did Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, and I think they've done 1 or 2 other like fairly. Log Horizon.
So it was a letdown to you. This OP.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the hip hop vocals with the little record scratches, the little breakdown in the middle. Like, this is a series set at the turn of the millennium. Wait, is that wrong? Is it the 900s going into the new millennium, or is it the 1000s?
I would say the 1000.
Okay. Well, I mean, either way, the show is depicting events that are like 1,000 years old, and for some reason we have hip hop, which is a very modern musical form, like genre. And not only like you can deliver. I mean, hip hop is just like rhythmic spoken word. So you can pull that off in any number of styles, but the style that they went for makes it sound like Linkin fucking Park, which just put me back in like my middle school years. And I am so far removed from that mentality that I was just like, this is garbage. I can't do this. I mean, I wish I skipped it.
I can be so raw, I can feel you there. Oh my god, it was like one of the big part of my childhood as
Yeah,
well.
of course.
Jesus.
I would have preferred something different for sure. And then the ED is like, I don't know, it just feels extremely 2018 American pop, like Adele or Rihanna. You know how they kind of have those portamento deliveries where they like slide their voices between notes,
Mhm.
and the production sounds totally focus grouped.
Mhm.
Just get me out of here. Like,
Mm.
no, give me Eimer or give me death.
Alright. How about the episode itself?
Who cares about that? I mean, you go first. I've already,
Alright.
said my piece about.
Alright, for once, Canute finally talks.
Yes.
After for how long I don't even remember. I'm glad that he be able to talk, to actually like speak in voice, like to give us his voice basically.
Yeah.
I still don't like the way that the way the
The way that what?
show. Well, I was expecting him to talk at the um when he was with like when everyone listened to him, so like before that, before
Ah,
the
yes. When Askeladd put the pressure on him and said,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah, that's,
address these commoners. You're a
yeah,
prince."
that's right. So I was expecting to talk then, so I just feel like the later when he started to talk was a bit underwhelming.
Yeah. I guess I can agree with that. Although he is very obviously shy,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So it makes sense that he would, on that's the biggest stage that we've seen him on so far,
Yep.
in front of all those people who are like blocking their path,
Mm-hmm.
and threatening them. They got a bunch of bows pointed in their direction.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense to me that he would chicken out there.
Mm-hmm.
Although it is kind of aggravating that he didn't say anything, because we've already gotten him saying nothing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Though he does talk later on in the episode, and he has a kind of an interesting relationship going on with Thorfinn. What did you think about that?
I think they serve as a foil to each other. So Thorfinn gonna reckon up a bit, and because Thorfinn never regard him as like a prince, so they don't have like the hierarchy, should I say? So they treat it more as like the equals. So I think that's the
Right.
reason why the prince, sorry, would be more like open up to him, to Thorfinn, and more like inspired by Thorfinn, who is the same age as him and much tougher than him.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Askeladd,
Yep.
or not Askeladd. What's his face? Thorfinn.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. You brought that up. I actually hadn't considered that, but in the village where he lived, was there a chieftain? I don't even remember if there was a chief.
In Thorfinn's village,
Yeah, in the early episodes when he was still a boy.
maybe.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Oh, is that his father, Thor?
I don't remember his dad being like a chieftain, any sort of official leader, having a title or anything.
Yeah, but he does act like a leader.
Yeah. I mean, he's so gigantic that people probably started treating him as one just so they wouldn't get their heads bashed in.
Mm-hmm.
Like when somebody is threatening physically, people are going to defer to them.
Yep.
I guess. But yeah, I mean, whether or not they did have a chief in the village, any sort of leader, it did seem to be like communal living. Everyone pitching in together, in order to make it through the difficult winters. So yeah, it makes sense that Thorfinn wouldn't, even if like Canute were the sort of socially skilled and confident prince that you might expect him to be, Thorfinn still probably would not regard him very highly.
Yeah.
Because
That's
who
right.
is like what is a prince? What is a prince's authority or responsibility in the face of like the hell that Thorfinn has been through in his life?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Um, I th-
So it's kind of cool the thing they have going on between the two of them, I think.
Yep. But I think the main character is in the episode is Askeladd, and
Oh, without a doubt.
yep, and the reveal that he actually have Welsh. Iris, is it
Welsh
Iris or
blood.
the
Welsh.
Welsh? All right. Yep.
Both Welsh and Danish blood because his father was Olaf,
Yep.
and his mother was
The
Lydia.
princess. All right.
Yeah,
I have no idea who
Lydia.
Lydia is.
She was some sort of Welsh royalty, I think, based on what I interpreted from this
Yep.
episode. And
Mhm.
Olaf was like a Danish warlord, perhaps
Mhm.
Norwegian, whatever.
Mhm.
And then he kidnapped her and made her his concubine, and that's where Askeladd came from.
Yep. So I enjoyed the review. I can see why like Escalade seem to be mysterious now, and I can I can sort of see how he wanted to put Prince Canute into the range and like make peace for his hometown. So I can see the reason why, because at first when I heard about the non-peace the non-violent peace treaty or something, I was like, that bullshit. I don't just escalate. But when I hear about his backstory, I think that that gives a lot of weight.
Well, here's a question that I have for you. I
Right.
mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that what Askeladd's plan is he's going to groom Canute to
Yep.
become the king of Denmark, and then he's going to stick close by his side, and he will also get like a high-ranking position
Yep. Yep.
in whatever court or system of government Canute sets up.
Yep.
That's his plan, right?
Yep. I
Okay. So riddle
Yep.
me this. Why is it necessary that he have this backstory of like coming from Welsh and Danish blood? Why couldn't he have just succeeded at building whatever following he has of all these pirates, and then they get Canute, they manage to capture him, and then he does just the exact same thing that he's doing now? Why do we need this backstory in order to follow this plot?
All right, because um as the start of the episode 12, I think he was running away from the Englishman, Torkel, lived by Torkels. So he need an ally that not is English. So that's why we got Wales.
No, what I mean is like in terms of constructing this story
Yep.
from the mangaka's point of view, why is it necessary that Askeladd be this half Welsh, half Danish character?
Um,
What does it like? His plan would be the same either way, right?
I think the big picture is gonna be he gonna double cross the dance. That's what I think. So
Double cross the who?
the dance, the Danish people.
Oh yeah, because he says I hate the Danes.
Yeah.
Probably because of what his father did, during his
Yep.
his lifetime as
So
like a conqueror.
so I think it's more as an establishment that he gonna move more away from like the Danish people, from his team, and like sort of achieve something for himself, just like personal goal.
Right.
And then at the cost of like his whole team, and like even Canute to
Right, yeah.
to achieve that. So I think like it attached with him as more like he have more higher goal that he want to achieve.
Yeah, I mean that all makes sense. I suppose that what comes after he gets Canute into a seat of power.
Yeah.
What comes after that is where his lineage will become like truly relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that like this episode spends so much time talking about that aspect of Askeladd's, character, of his backstory, of where he comes from,
Mm-hmm.
that like I actually took a screen cap here. I'm going to send it to you,
Yep.
and it has a timestamp on it at the bottom.
Yep.
And you just tell me, this is the moment when, like, obviously at the very start of the episode they're at a standstill and they enter negotiations.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that timestamp say there on that screenshot?
All right. Let's see.
So this screenshot that I took. This is the moment when they finally start moving again after the negotiations are over, and this is like a 23-minute anime episode.
Yep. All right.
Can you see the time there?
No, I still haven't seen anything from you.
Oh, really?
Yep.
My bad. Here, let me. I didn't.
Alright,
I didn't actually send the image.
All right, I got that. So
All right.
the timestamp is 18. All right, let's
Yeah.
start matching again.
18 minutes. 18 minutes into the episode, they finally start marching. So much time wasted talking about Askeladd.
Well,
I mean, it's how they get past this group of, like, this Welsh society, you know, this other village
yep.
or city, whatever you want to call it.
Kingdoms.
Yeah. It's how they get through. You know, he barters using that bit of information about himself and what he can promise the Welsh people. That's how they manage to pass. But it's still just, it's too little too late in terms of, like, this episode as a piece of entertainment.
Yep. All right.
I was already nodding off to sleep.
All right. I have one more thing that I want to mention before we said like how much we love the these episodes. How do you think Askeladd see of Canute?
How do I think he sees him? Well, he has made some comments to Bjorn about how he still has a long way to go and
Yep.
how he still has so much potential left.
Yeah.
Like the story of his life has only begun to be written.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he envies Canute's youth,
All right.
and perhaps he hopes that Canute will be able to help him fulfill his own ambitions. But I think he also hates Canute due to his status within Denmark, because he says he hates the Danes. So he must hate what Canute represents, which is Danish royalty.
Maybe. I'm not too sure what I'm not too sure. Yeah. But that's a good take on that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So how would you rate? How would you rank Vinland Saga episode 13?
Right. So we're doing this out of 8 since we watched 8 shows.
Yep.
I put this down as number 6.
I put it at number 4.
Okay. So we got
10.
6 and 4. That's going to be an average of 5.
Yep.
This is almost certainly not going to carry over.
Is it? All right. Let's
Yeah.
get to the next.
That's below average. Average on a 1 to 8 scale would be a 4.5.
Yep. That's true. All right. The next one is Nogan Life.
All right.
The
The Madhouse Resurgence.
the series about the guy with the gun as the head.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
What's up?
All right. I swear that the premise is so silly. The guy.
Yeah, it's very dumb.
But after watching the episode, I actually enjoy the episodes.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
The case that they present, for examples, is reminded me of what is in the show.
Yeah, with the, like, somebody's consciousness inside of a cyborg
Yep.
body.
That's right.
It's interesting that the kid that everyone is after is, you know, his soul, his ghost, whatever you want to call it, is actually in this scrap heap of a robot who can operate independently. You know, so it kind of makes everyone's fervor over getting the kid, like, it's in a way it's like a commentary on I don't know, like the futility kind of like pursuing anyone or anything too too closely,
Mm-hmm.
because you can never really like possess or control someone,
Yep.
because their consciousness, like their ego and their sense of self, is separate from whatever you may do to them, whether you kidnap them, torture them, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there is I suppose in that respect there is a little bit of Ghost in the Shell, like its legacy
Yep.
has been imprinted on this show a bit.
Mm-hmm. I like the noir bit as well. So the
Yeah. Yeah.
that is a detective. He doing detective work, and I really love this self awareness of he has a a gun for face, because everyone been scared of that. Like at first impression, everyone care of the face.
Yeah, do you remember the scene with the baby crying
Yep.
when when he's like, they're all staring and looking at the nun as she's walking towards the crime scene,
Yep. Yep.
and he makes some innocuous comment, and like everyone turns and looks, and the baby sees him and just starts crying in a really unconvincing performance from whatever baby was being recorded for this little bit of what do you call it, ADR?
Yep. So yeah, I I I think it's have like the wicked sense of humor. Love it. Love this self awareness of the face as a gun. Love the atmosphere. It's dark. It's it's a bit like pulp, but I think it's worked well in this story.
Yeah,
Um.
I think so too.
Yep. So I have a good time with that.
How did you feel about the CG?
Not that good though. It's
Okay.
alright, but it's not that good.
Right.
Alright.
I thought it was integrated pretty damn well myself. I mean, it was very clear when it was being used, but the show leaned into it in such a way that, damn, a fly has just, like a little tiny fly has just landed on my monitor and is now like wriggling all over it. Literally right where my notes are in front of my face, the fly is like walking on them. I thought that the CG was like really purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of the backgrounds were computer generated, I thought.
Mm-hmm. I think I agree.
And then they used the CG for things like specific objects set on desks and things. Like for doors opening, they used it. Water was all CG, I feel, as it often is in modern anime.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of works because like the city looks really sleek, but there's actually a lot of political corruption behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And so the kind of uncanny valley effect, perhaps that's not the right word because you use that term whenever it's like human beings being portrayed. But the kind of like the CG sticks out, and it's like it's right there and it kind of clashes with what's around it. That kind of fits to me with that theme of like the city is supposed to be this utopia, but really it's a dystopia.
Yep. It's more like a decay world.
Well, I mean, a lot of parts of it look really slick and really polished. But then you go down some back alleyway and there are seedier and less wealthy parts of town.
Yep. A slum.
As there always are in this sort of story.
Yep. So why I enjoy that, I don't know if it's gonna be hold my attention in the next few episodes. This one is actually pretty good. I think this is a good introduction about the characters, about the world, about its theme as well.
I have the same concern.
I still have my worry how the story gonna go from here.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I really did enjoy this episode, but when I walk away from it, I just the number one thing that I think is, man, that was dumb. Like so, I wonder if the show is going to be able to overcome that. Not that it necessarily needs to, but if that's like my overall impression, that's probably not good.
Yep. All right. So how would you rank Logan's Life.
I put it third.
Wow, I put it 6.
Okay. So that's going to be
Nah.
4.5. That's going to be right in the middle.
Yep.
The average.
All right, the next one is gonna be Mugen no Chunin Immortal, or Blade of the Immortal.
Right. Yeah, I've been calling it Mugen no Junin because there was an adaptation that was just entitled Blade of the Immortal.
All right. Yep.
Like 11 years ago. So
Gotcha.
I call it Mugen no Junin to distinguish them.
All right.
But I mean, the manga's really popular and everyone calls it Blade of the Immortal, so we can do whatever we want.
I have 2 questions to ask you before we go into the episodes. Have you read the manga, or have you watched any of the oldest version of Blade of the Immortals?
No to both.
All right. That's gonna be the same
You?
with me.
Okay.
So this is our first
Were those the 2
introduction to
questions,
Blade
or
of
was there
Immortals.
another?
No.
Was there another
So
question?
that's the 2-part questions here.
Okay.
Just one question.
All
right.
So did you watch the second episode? Because there are 2 out right now.
All right. No. I just watched the first. I just watched the first for everything. So even
Okay, me too.
Baby Long with 3 episodes, I only watched the first one.
Okay. Yeah, I also watched just the first episode of everything.
All right. All right. How do you feel about these episodes?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't say that I loved it because I thought that, I mean, it was definitely Hamasaki. Like the washed out look of it definitely reminds me of Shigurui and Steins Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kind of oppressive mood that it creates. I mean, it's most certainly his work, but I feel like it doesn't commit hard enough to its premise. Like all the stylized violence of the opening was gory, but it was not like it didn't frighten me or like concern me or horrify me. I was just kind of watching it unfold, like, oh, that guy's face, he got cut down the middle and it like slid apart. That was something. That was my general reaction to it.
That was
I
something.
feel like it didn't establish the right tone immediately. By the end of the episode, I felt a little bit more charitable towards it.
All right. For me, I think this episode is really impressive. Love it. Really love it.
Oh, nice.
I think it's stylish for once. I think the tone is set is great. So like it have like a dark tone, but it also have like some sort of free. I don't know what to say. It's more like it's not like a strict adaptation. It's more like a he.
How do you know that if you don't know anything about the source material?
It feels like he let loose of that. Oh well, because there are some I do think that it's more like mood piece, especially when it comes to like how the girl think and
Did
feel.
you
No.
Did you say One Piece?
No, mood piece. So it's
yes.
it's more really like a mood. So they have
Right.
they have some of the like it's impressionist stuff happening. I'm thinking of the one where she looking up to the forest and there was like a really way CGs up in the sky with all the trees. I don't know if you remember that, but it's like play
You're talking about in the bamboo forest?
the bamboo forest.
Yeah, I remember that scene. I don't remember a shot of the sky with CG
Yeah,
used.
yeah, because I remember like she looking up and the whole thing looks really weird. It's like in acid dreams, and I love it.
I see. Okay, I'll have to go back and catch that because I missed it. I don't know why she would be perceiving things that way.
Yeah, don't remember that.
Like her character is very much in revenge mode.
Yep. And one thing is, this show have really limited animation. It feel like a slideshow at time. So it actually I think it somehow add up to this being more of a slow burn and
What?
it's slow burn. Yes, slow
This?
burn.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The two main characters link up in the first episode and already kill one of the
Yeah.
men who like assaulted her family.
Yeah.
Already in the first episode. What is slow about that?
It's more like the presentation of that, I think. So like everything is like um it's not a it's a moving still. Alright, I don't even know how to express my thought about the show, but I like that. I like the presentation of that. I
I
think
mean, the show's ripping through its source material by all accounts.
not
Like it's flying through it, according to manga readers.
alright.
Skipping a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, they've already like. I thought it was extremely jarring how
Yep.
she recruits his help, you
Yep.
know, and the conversation between the two of them is pretty good. You know, it kind of has a bit of a languid pace to it because it's not as though he accepts immediately. And there's lots of shots of nice backgrounds. Lots like some pillow shots of the dragonflies that are in the air, kind of lazily moving back and forth in the sky in front of the characters. I don't know what they're supposed to represent, but it looks cool. So it's, you know, after the hyper violent opening, we get down to learning about the girl and then learning about the guy, and then they partner up. That's great. Then immediately, like smash cut to some point in the future. It's nighttime. She has acquired these new skills using these weapon things that we've never seen before. She makes an attempt on the life of one of her mother's rapists. You know, it fails, and then what's his face comes in and cleans up after getting his arm or leg cut off. That's so fast.
Yep. Yep. It's true. I think they purposely cut the middle part so that like in the next episode maybe they're gonna revisit that. Not sure.
What do you
though.
mean? Do you think there's going to be a flashback in the next episode?
So they're gonna so the event happened when they kill that guy. It's more like some event in the future. So they're gonna jump back again, you know, like
Why make that decision though?
it does.
We don't know enough about the girl or the guy yet. I can't even remember their names.
I don't remember the name either. I think it's the format actually remind me a lot of Dodoro. Don't you think?
Well, that's not a good thing, is it?
Uh,
No, this doesn't remind me one bit of Dororo.
all right.
No, not even a little. Just because like they both have
Alright.
swords.
So
I don't know.
So I do think that it's work more as like I said, the mood piece. So it rely more on mood more than, you know, like making more of like logical sense. That's what I feel. Like.
Logic is imperative in fiction.
All right.
It's all fiction, like especially audiovisual fiction, is already a series of disconnected images and sounds that have to be threaded together via presentation and logic.
Yep.
Logic has to be there. Otherwise, the film that you're watching is not a depiction of a series of events that you can follow and identify with.
And I think that's what your issue lies with this episode, right?
I mean, I thought the episode was okay, but it's definitely not this like really slow, moody, evocative tone piece.
Alright.
In my opinion, it's a bit of a mess.
All right. How do you think about the presentation, about how it's look, and about how the lack of animation is that help or, you know, work as a diminution for the show?
I thought they got away with it. Like it's not as though it helps.
Yep.
But they, you know, they managed to get a passing grade. I suppose I would say. Not as though I'm the teacher in the classroom of anime. I'm not even Japanese, so I wouldn't be able to follow what was being taught if I were there. But I thought it was all right. I thought there were some really cool looking, kind of painterly looking scenes, like with brush strokes. Those were pretty well animated, where it was like white canvas in the background and just black lines. When the swordsman was moving like really quickly. They only happened like once or twice in the beginning, I think.
All right. So, how do you rate this house?
4th.
I read it 2nd.
All right, that's pretty high.
Yep. I love it. So that's 6. So,
nice. Okay. So that's an average of 3. So definitely the front runner so far.
Yep. All right. So the next one gonna be Kabukichou Sherlock.
All right.
All right. So I must tell you, out of only 8 shows that we gonna cover for the first impressions, this is the only one that I consider not so good.
Oh, really?
Yep, I enjoy all
Okay.
on the 7th on the 7 shows, not this one though.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now, I put this number 1.
You put it at number 1.
Yes, I did.
Oh, Jesus. Right, all right. I put it at number 8.
Okay, it's sick.
All right, convince me, man. Oh, come on, dude.
I think this show uses the animated medium to the fullest.
All right.
I mean, there's musical cutaways to like videos of like a singing. I don't know if the word transvestite is acceptable to use, but a cross-dressing man, like singing a song in a nightclub.
Hold on, I think they call them a drag queen.
Well, is that term okay to use? I guess it is, because like RuPaul's Drag Race,
Yeah.
they kind of embrace that terminology. So yeah, so a drag queen. She gets her own little music video where she kind of bounces over that illustrated skyline. It cuts away to that. Do you remember the scene where Sherlock, he starts doing that Rakugo performance?
Yep.
When he's solving the crime, and like it's as though he's on another plane of existence. Whenever it cuts back to him, it's got like there's a sound of air being pushed through a tube, kind of echoing in the background to indicate that he's elsewhere, you know.
Yep.
And in the background behind him, it'll flash like clues from throughout the episode.
Yeah.
You can't do that in live action, really. And the use of on-screen text I thought was like extremely good. I was surprised by how appropriate it was and how pretty it looked as it kind of blossomed in the corner when it was introducing new characters.
All right.
It used the fact that it was anime to the fullest extent that it could, and for that I admire it.
All right. Except for your last sentence, I agree with you on everything else, and because of that, I think that this show is a mess. It just doesn't hold up at all. Everything, you know. We got like the crimes. We got like a modern take on Sherlock and Watson, which none of them.
Did you say Gramps?
No, I didn't say that.
Before you started saying stuff about Sherlock and Watson, you said we got.
We got like the crime.
I don't know what that means.
No. Just like a criminal case.
Crime.
It's more like a detective thing, and then we got the modern take on Sherlock and Watson, which none of them are that interesting, and then we got Dracula.
You don't think Sherlock is that interesting?
That version of Sherlock and Watson is not interesting. Uh,
There is no character from any of these episodes who is more interesting than Sherlock.
really?
He literally he at a cabaret club, he literally lifts up a woman's arm and smells her armpit in order to determine how she's paying for her nose job.
All right.
Like, cool as a cucumber, he does this. What is more interesting than that? He solves crimes by putting on amateur rakugo performances that everyone else hates and thinks are terrible.
All right.
He's the craziest, most distinctive character of the season.
Yeah, and then we got a random Rakugo, and when you think that this is like the modern take of Watson and Sherlock, it doesn't, Rakugo, drag queen,
Yeah.
Sherlock and Watson, and
I
then,
will agree with you that I thought Watson was pretty boring.
All right.
He just seemed to be like an everyman. He needs Sherlock's help with some stuff because he's a normal guy and he needs some help in a jam.
Yep.
I didn't think he was very interesting.
And then the case itself isn't that interesting either.
Yeah, but the thing that I really like about the case not wrapping up very well is that the show kind of does it irreverently. Like the guy, what's his face? He's like some sort of security guard or chauffeur
Yep.
or something?
Mm-hmm. I think
he just he gets in a car and drives off, as though he, the show was just playing.
Yep.
It was just playing with us the entire time. He's not the criminal. He's not like the mastermind. He's a copycat criminal
Yep.
who tried to mask his murder by making it look like Kitasaki Jack did it, Jack the Ripper.
Yep.
But nevertheless, like, that plot point persists. All those detectives are still competing to try to be the one to catch Jack the Ripper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So even that, I thought that element of the show's like the performance that it puts on in this first episode is like messing with us as an audience, almost on a meta level. I love it.
All right.
This shit is great.
Yeah. Well. I think we all agree that this show is irrelevant. Like
Irreverent.
all the style is not matching up each other's. They have like the whole bright vibrance of style, of genre, of tones, and for me it feels like a hot mess.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I definitely respect that opinion, and I expect it because this show is in your face, and like it fucks with you.
Yep.
And I don't expect a lot of people to like this, and I'm happy to be in the minority on this, as well as with another show that we're going to discuss later.
All right.
But like I definitely disagree that the tone is inconsistent because the show is it's madcap from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's true that it goes through there's the music video that I talked about and the Rakugo scenes. And like the visit to the cabaret club it engages in like the Office level cringe comedy. And there's the scene where they go back to Sherlock's apartment and it's like a complete mess, and a character who we don't even know just like barges in and makes himself at home. He has some sort of relationship with Sherlock. We don't know what it is. Like the show is always introducing these new people and like visual styles and just general forms of presentation that don't necessarily match with one another, but I think that is what lends the show its consistency, is that it is always experimenting. So once you catch on to that, you're just waiting for the next wacky thing to unfold. Like eagerly, you're waiting to see what it'll be. That's the mindset that I was in as I was watching.
All right. So to each his own, I think.
Yeah, we definitely don't agree.
Yeah.
On this one.
Well, but actually, I would love for this show to be, if it ever make it, to see like how our opinion differ like week after week, or not.
Well, I mean,
or even
I think
I can see your point. Sometimes.
I think that for the show to succeed, at least on the terms that I want it to succeed on, it's going to need to continue to be weird and inaccessible. That's what I want. So if it opens itself up and becomes more of a standard crime procedural with just like minor quirks,
Yep.
I'm going to be pissed.
Right.
But more other people will probably love it more if that happens.
Yep. I see.
So I'm setting myself at odds with everybody else on this one. I'm fine with that.
All right. Certainly, certainly, this is an interesting show to put on, for sure.
Yeah, definitely not normal or boilerplate.
All right. So it have a total combined score of 9. So like I
Right.
4.5.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're probably not going to do this one. I can already see in my head which 2 shows it's going to be.
All right. Let's get to the next show, which is Hoshiai no Sora, Star Allies.
Yes. This was my most anticipated series coming into the season.
All right. This is my second most.
Okay. But it did not end up my number 1. Did it end up your number 2?
No, it's not.
Okay, so perhaps it underperformed a little bit.
My number 2 is Planet of the Immortals.
Oh yeah, so it
Yep.
can't have been your number 2. Yeah, so both of us it did not live up to perhaps the expectations that we had for it coming into the season.
I would beg for differ. I actually think that it's actually meet my expectation.
Even though it was your second most anticipated series,
Yeah,
and yet it's not ranked in the top 2.
Yep, because
Would you say that?
Yep. It's just because I have no expectation whatsoever for Planet of the Immortals, and it turned out like I was pretty impressed by that.
I see. Okay.
So, all right, let's start with the sport itself. Do you have?
We don't
any
get a lot of tennis.
Yeah, we don't get
this
a lot of
episode.
tennis. Do you know about this soft tennis sport at all? Do you like?
No, I don't. But you probably are because you're a tennis guy, right?
Yeah, I know about it. I'm not sure if it's like a really popular sport though. I know like we have tennis, we have SWAT. I don't know about the tennis though.
When they were playing tennis, I was noticing that the dimensions of the field seemed to be different.
Yeah,
Like what's considered out and in.
I think it's smaller.
Seems different to me.
So I'm not sure about this soft tennis. So I'm not really sure like how much it's different. But I would just think that it's more like a smaller version of like the actual tennis.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for right now in my viewership of the series, I'm just treating it as it's just tennis,
Yep.
because the game is essentially the general principles are the same.
Yep.
You hit the ball over the net and try to make it so that your opponent can't return it.
Yep. All right. So I think plot wise, we still have like a more of a generic story about like a guy who like the club is about to disband if they don't perform well, so that he's trying to look for like other person to join in. So I think it's like it's a really generic storyline so far. What
Really?
what make a difference though is the character themselves, because I love two things. I love the two main characters. They have very well grown. They have like the relationship with their parents, a dark one as well. Gonna be like a case for for their struggle forward, and they have like a clear personality as well. And I said two things. What is the second point? And
The
I
characters and
and the dialogues. So like every every exchange from like every character from the show, I feel it's natural, and I want to him to see more from that.
okay.
All right, how are you?
I definitely feel you on the first point. The characters are great.
Yep.
The Toma, who's the kid with the glasses who doesn't want the club to disband, the thing where his mother says, "Oh no, like don't leave me alone with my child, please God, don't leave me alone." Like
Yep.
I thought that was a little bit excessive.
I
We can already tell from his personality and the fact that he's willing to pay through the nose to get this guy to be on his team
Yep.
that he's got some atypical personality traits.
Yep. I feel that as
I
well.
would have
But
preferred. Go ahead.
I feel that as well. But I also feel like the later event, whereas the other guy father just come up and beat him up and take the money is excessive as well. But
Oh, you thought that was excessive? Okay.
but I do think that though is excessive, like by design, in order to to put them all together, so at least they are consistent.
Huh. Okay. I don't agree. I thought that the mom, the mom saying that about her child is not necessary because we can already watch him and learn about him without her input. Whereas the scene at the end, we don't know anything about the father except that he's absent. So in order to learn about him, he needs to make an appearance. We need to see him.
Yep.
So the scenes are accomplishing two different things.
All right.
And I thought the scene at the end was dope. Like no dialogue whatsoever, adding to the tension, like the silence
Yep.
that's like super thick between the two characters. The way he curls up in a corner
Yep.
after getting beaten and kicked by his dad. And the thing that really, like the cherry on top of that scene for me was the way that the dad used his knowledge of his son in order to determine who would have hidden the money and where.
Yep.
He figures it out because he used to be close to his son and he knows the way that he thinks.
Yep. Yep.
That is extremely strong character writing,
Yep.
in my opinion. What's not as good is the dialogue during the first half of this episode.
Really? All right.
Yeah, all the club members talking to one another just felt like whoever was scripting this first episode had a goal in mind, and that was, I'm going to introduce every character and I'm going to include one detail about them that the audience can hang on to remember them. It felt very, like, way too deliberate to me.
Yep. 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 I see what you
Like
mean.
we get everyone's name, everyone has a slightly different design and tone of voice, and everyone, like, one guy has an older sister on the other club.
Yep.
The girls team, and then one guy just really like he doesn't really care that much about tennis and he just wants to play video games, and another guy is like kind of on bad terms with Toma and so he's antagonizing him a little bit, and then like everybody, it's too, like, their roles and their general, I don't know who they are, it's too deliberate.
Yep. I understand what you feel. I feel though that I think there is like the natural chemistry between them, between like all the boys. Not necessarily. Yeah, I can see why you feel that it's like deliberate, but yeah, still feel that they have like natural chemistry. How you feel about the two main characters?
They're cool.
Chemistry.
Oh, between the two of them?
Yep.
It's all right. I think we got enough information about their relationship in this first episode to make us want to watch more. I mean, I'm glad that they're somewhat distant from one another.
Yep.
Because if he, what's his face? What's the Maki. If Maki, upon recognizing Toma in that first scene, the club room, was like, "Oh my God, it's you! I haven't seen you in forever, dude. How have you been?" I would just be like, "What? This is some dumb coincidence, and I don't care about this at all."
Yep.
But instead they're two guys who just happen to know one another.
Yep.
And that's what pushes the story forward because of what they know about each other. Their relationship is immediately clear to us.
Yep. That's right.
Because of the way that they act, like the way one acts guarded around the other, and the way that the other one pursues the new transfer student for his talents.
All right.
I think their relationship's really appropriate.
Even at the cost of paying him to join in. So how do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's cool. I think that says a lot about Toma's character and about how obsessive he is,
Mm-hmm.
and perhaps about like what other areas of his life might be lacking in order for him to put so much of his ego and so much investment into the tennis club.
Mm-hmm. And even to Maki as well, I think that he doesn't want for the others to know that he needed the money, as we find out why like he the financial situation of him and his mother.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because he's so invested in the tennis club, he like in his mind he kind of conflates Maki and the future of the tennis club. So he
Yeah.
does get obsessed with
No.
the
Yep.
with him as an individual too.
Yeah. I mean about Maki, the other guy as well.
Toma.
Maki. Tuma is the guy with the glass.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's who I'm talking about.
All right. Yep.
I
So
don't think Maki is really that interested in Toma. I think he would rather avoid him.
yep. And so now I think that Maki he went in for the money as well.
Oh yeah, because he
So
actually does need money.
yep, that's right. So I think that's like both of them have like their own their own situation to deal with and their own role. So I think that is a pretty good start for this show for the sports show. That normally we have like a very generic character trait and setting and stuff.
Right. Yeah. There's definitely a darkness to the characters' home lives
Yep.
a little bit. Toma's I'm not feeling as much as Maki's, obviously, given the gravity of what happened in that final scene.
Yep.
But I'm feeling like this could be the Neon Genesis Evangelion of tennis anime. You know,
Wow. All right.
like we might just be getting a serious examination of these two characters, and tennis may end up not even being that important.
That.
Although, if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably they're probably going to team up and go to the championship, and it's going to be great.
All right. That's a big statement that you got there. Compare that to the one of the more talk about anime of all time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I say that about a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of a joke to compare things to Evangelion like constantly. Everybody loves to do it.
Yep. So how would you rate? How would you rank? Sorry. Hoshiai no Sora.
I put this thing second.
Yeah. So it's not that much different though. I put that at third.
Oh wow! So we're blogging this.
Yep. For sure. I love
Damn.
this.
Okay. I think there's going to be a tie for second place.
All right.
We'll see.
We see. The next one gonna be Hatage Kemonomichi. The sumo isekai.
Sumo Isekai.
Yep. Alright. My first and only thought about Hatage Kemonomichi is this one is so silly.
My first thought is, how could this not be in last place for you? How is this a better product than Kabukichou Sherlock, which is like super daring, balls to the wall?
Alright.
Whereas this is, I mean, actually, maybe that's not really fair for me to say because the two shows actually have some similarities. Like they're both nuts.
Yep. Alright. I think that's right entirely on one thing and one thing only. That I didn't see the way that he smacked the princess down at all. I didn't see that coming. So I was like, oh my god.
I mean, did you read our season preview on the blog? That plot point was specifically mentioned.
Yep. Well, I didn't read that beforehand.
Okay.
So
I read everything because I was trying to get it all organized and stuff. Because I'm a big bully who makes people write things.
Yep. All right. All right. Yep. So
yeah, that took you by surprise. Though I'm sure that made you bust out laughing.
Yeah, well, not much I love it, but I actually see the brilliant of that.
The
It's
what of that?
it's silly, but it's brilliant.
Oh, the brilliance.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the I for me even more than the princess being suplexed and him just like leaving to go do whatever he wants, ignoring his quest. The thing that's really interesting to me is that Earth's greatest warrior is a sumo wrestler. Like the joke is that they weren't specific enough with the summoning spell.
yep,
Somebody messed up,
yep,
like the summoning circle or the incantation or something, and that's why he's summoned. You don't even see the process of him being summoned. You just see him whisked away from the wrestling ring. So that joke kind of lies
yep,
buried in the premise of the show itself.
yep,
And I think that is just that concept, that idea is the strongest one that Kimono Michi has to offer, and it comes very early, and everything after that is kind of like,
all right. I can see that. Like it had the same brand of humor of Konosuba, which is not like my cup of tea, but it
this is the same brand of humor as Konosuba.
it's it's like the it I think it's like the commentary of the isekai. It's a spoof of isekai
It's a spoof of furries.
of furry. Alright, yep, whatever.
All the humor, like, was there an episode of Konosuba where people are sexually attracted to animals? Was there an episode like that? Because that's the one and only source of humor. Oh, I shouldn't say only. That's the number one
Yeah,
gag that Kimono Michi has going for it is
yeah,
this guy likes animals way too much.
yeah. And he like to fundo, he like to kudo, he like to do all sort of thing with the animals with fur.
He likes to sniff their anuses.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's as well.
He likes to rub their bellies until they like ejaculate.
All right. Yep.
Like to me, that's I I just
Too much.
am not entertained. I'm not entertained by that. It's not even that it's too much. It just like on my scale of humor, it's not. It doesn't register.
Yep.
Like the needle does not move on my humor dial when I see something like that.
Yep.
This guy really likes animals.
Yep. That's the one shot right now. All right, but I can see because with Konosuba, why I don't think of the show that highly. That this is one of the show that I just put on randomly, watch it, and even laugh myself with all the silliness. I can see the same thing with this show.
Ah, okay.
So all right, I put that 7 out of 8.
All right, I put it
I know
eighth.
your ranking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have put the other isekai show though, the average isekai.
Which one is that? Oh yeah, in the girl who is like super overpowered.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was all right. I thought it was decent.
I think I will put that
I
at 7 as well.
Oh, okay. I also I heard that the cautious hero is like super cautious, whatever
Yep.
the title is.
Yep. Yep.
I heard
Yep.
that that's actually pretty good. I haven't
Nah,
seen it.
nah. I watch
Oh,
it
have you
already.
seen it?
I watch all the isekai so far. So
Dude, I don't know if I can trust you after after these first impressions.
all right. All right. The
What if? All right, yeah.
the what they call the one who summoned on these
The
heroes,
goddess?
the goddess. She's like Aqua in Konosuba, so she really expressive. So like the one good thing that I see about that show is that she really expressive, and there is some spoof on the genre as well. But like the main guy is super boring.
But isn't that his personality? That he's like super cautious and
Yeah, but the
he's not
way
very
he acts is
expressive.
super boring as well.
Isn't
It's not even fun.
Oh, okay.
I still like it though. I still like it very well. I think like I put that like on second or third favorite of all the isekai shows. It's
What's
not
your favorite? This one?
of the season, so it's not. Is it my? I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Look at you. All right. I
Well,
know what you
that's
think. I know
cool.
what you think.
I mean, it's a low bar when you're talking about that genre. So any of them could be the best, and I wouldn't be that surprised.
Yep. All right. Let's get to the next one, which is the one that I think we're gonna be differ about a lot. Beastar.
Yes. Well, it's not as though the difference is going to be as great as Kabukichou Sherlock because those were literally polar opposites. I don't know if we've ever had that happen before.
No, we
1
don't.
and 10.
Yep. No, we don't. But
All right, we got Beastars here. So obviously you put it in first.
yep, I put that first.
All right. For me, it's fifth.
Oh right. Interesting. All right.
So that ties it with Blade of the Immortal
Yep.
with 6 points.
I actually think that Vista. I love the word meaning of Vista. Or Vista. I love the
All right,
way.
here we go.
I love the
Let's
way
go.
it introduced. Like a school that on these like animal characters can eat each other. I think the concept is great, but more than that, I think that Orange put the presentation on like just nail it. I love the music. I love the way it's look. I love the way the characters look. I feel like I want to see much more from what they from from the story. All right.
All right.
How about you?
Nice. How badly do you want me to lay into this thing?
All right. Just
Because I already criticized
as much as
Blade
you
of the
can.
Immortal as much as I can. Are you
Yep.
sure?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
This show's ambition is its own worst enemy.
Right.
The universe that it creates, where anthropomorphic animals they like run society. You can't create a premise like that and then just bottle it up by making all the events take place in one building with one small set of characters.
All right.
There are way too many questions. Like how does any of this function? If they maintain their predator-prey relationships, then there's no believability to anything that happens in this entire episode. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have logic.
All right.
You need, if you're going to fabricate a world like this from scratch, you need to know how it functions on a macro level. There should have been a scene somewhere, or like half the episode or something should have been set outside of the school. We should have followed one of these characters, like from elsewhere in this universe to the school, so we can see how it connects to everything else. As it is, we don't know what's going on like anywhere else on Earth. This school might as well be its own
World.
Like with nothing else anywhere around it, and that's terribly distracting, at least to me. It like devalues every single character in the series. So that was my number one problem.
Yep, I can see the point.
I mean, that's my main. I honestly, I have a ton. I wrote like a full page of notes about things that I did not like about this episode.
All right.
But that's the main one. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that for right now. Let me mention a couple things that I like, and then I'll send it back to you, because I don't want to be I don't want to be negative, like 100% negative, you know?
Yep.
I thought the background art was very good. I thought the soundtrack was very good. It's theatrical, it's kind of classical / jazzy, which matches the drama club. All the main characters are in the drama club. So that's a good fit. The type of music they use is appropriate. I thought a lot of the CG was good. I thought some of it was awful, but I thought most of it was good. I also like Rabbit Girl's personality.
Yep, I do too.
I think that her like particular brand of spunk, like she's the it girl, at least with men. and other girls resent her for it, which is kind of a cliched way to introduce a character. Let's be real, but what she does, and specifically what her voice actress does with that material, is pretty good. Like we get the sense that she's angry about it, but she's also tired of it. Like those two emotions are really pressing down on her. So I thought that was good as well.
Right.
So that right there. That's the stuff I liked.
Yep. All right. How about the main characters, the main guy?
Well, how do you feel about him, Legacy?
All right.
Right.
Yeah. I feel that he have a good design. I feel that
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
I feel that he not that interesting compared to the rabbit girl for now, because he basically been pushed around, you know. He
Yeah. He's a pushover. Yeah.
yeah, but like the last scene where like his instinct get the better of him and he nearly like swallow rabbit down. I think that's pretty good. That says something about his character as well. So
Well,
far I'm alright with that.
that scene played into my lack of satisfaction regarding, like, the explanation of how animal society works.
Yep.
Because
Alright,
we
go
see,
on.
we see the scent of the rabbit like enter into his nasal cavity and then up to his brain.
Mhm.
He's a wolf, and he has to hold back on his instincts. What kind of commentary is this? I don't understand what I'm
The,
supposed to be getting from it.
the nature of of this of like of how this world work, maybe that even though that they're in the same school, they might be the same. Um, they still end up as prey or predator, just like in a sting of moment.
But what's the analog? What are we meant to take away from this? That he's battling against his base instincts.
Yeah, so
Okay, so I understand that.
he can't control that. Sometimes he can't control that. Yeah.
Right. So what am I meant to take away from that? Like what commentary is being offered on?
Right. Um, sorry, I'm eating right now, but so despite that, that before that his personality is kind and even thoughtful. Sometimes like the instinct get the better of him.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what am I meant to take away from that in terms of like a real world parallel, or
All right.
how it informs my understanding of the society that they live in, or like anything like that?
So yeah, it is more like inform about the this that society, like I just said. Uh,
But it doesn't though.
that's
It doesn't do that.
all right.
It doesn't clear anything up.
We,
It just happens.
yeah, it just happened as well. Yeah, I think that's the point though.
Okay. I mean, like, part of my dissatisfaction, there's all sorts of reasons I didn't like that scene. One was the fact that it was extremely gray and hazy looking.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, like they chose to use a bunch of particle effects in the air
Mm-hmm.
in that scene to make it really really grimy looking and like polluted. I didn't understand that at all. Um, Also, they use it as both the cold open and like a quote unquote cliffhanger when it's completely obvious that he's not going to eat her. Like, there's no tension to that scene whatsoever. They're the main characters.
All right.
So I don't get it. Like, it just completely went over my head, I guess,
Hmm.
in terms of the appeal.
All right. I I I I still enjoy that scene. I think especially about the music. I think the music is just grander and overall good.
In
Um,
that scene.
in that scene in particular, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, I think that that scene is supposed to be iconic, not because it's supposed to be thrilling, because we, like you said, we all know that he's not gonna eat her, but it's more about like that set the stone of like the first time maybe the two maker to meet each other, and some sort of like Romeo and Juliet where Romeo just like to eat Juliet, that kind of stuff.
Right.
I don't know if
Meant to be iconic.
yeah, I don't know if they will be like romantically interested to each other or not, but that also
They probably will.
yeah, that is interesting to think about. um and like I said, it's meant to be a commentary on the nature of that world where like all these characters live together, study together, work together, but like they can still be prey and predators. So that tie up to your big main concern, the self-contained world, which I sort of see your point.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that I mean, Lenlo also watched this and he loved it, you know?
He loved the anime.
So,
He doesn't like the manga though.
right. But he like this episode he really liked,
Yep.
you know. So, he obviously he wouldn't have admired it so much if he had the same. Actually, maybe he does have the same issue that I do.
Yeah,
And that's the underlying that's like the root cause of his dissatisfaction with the series as a whole.
I do think so as well, and I do think that he liked this anime because the presentation is better than he had expected.
Right. Well, I'm not a fan of Orange.
All right.
So,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I know
I
they blew everyone's minds 2 years ago,
no.
but my mind remained intact after watching that show.
All right. Let me just say that I think that everyone's statement about like Hoshiki no Kune is the only great CG anime, the only
Gridman.
great looking CG anime of this decade is a big overstatement. And I love Hoshiki no Kune. I love what Orange did to that.
What other great TV? I mean, I think Gridman. I think I mentioned this last week or the week before, but I think Gridman has the best CG in TV anime history. That's my personal opinion, you know. But
Yeah.
you just made a comment that that's like an overstatement when people praise Hoseki no Kuni on that level.
Yep.
So what else can you think of that is on par with it or close?
Maybe something on the films level, movies level.
Well, yeah, but
Well,
you have to keep it limited to TV because film is that's another world
yeah, that's true.
of production.
Yeah, I still think that it's great. I still think that like it's my favorite CG of the of the decade as well. But it's not like it's not the general consensus. I just don't think that
Okay.
it's just too soon to say that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people can say what they want.
Yep.
I mean, they're not wrong that it looks good because it does.
I just feel that people who doesn't know about Hoshiki no Kune come to that show with that knowledge, they might be get disappointed.
I see. I guess that possibility exists. Yeah.
So but yeah, back to Beastar. I love everything introduced so far. I love everything self-contained. I love the self-contained world. I can
Okay.
see your point, but I just want to see like how they set up, how they gonna progress, develop that story. I think I do think that in that sense, the self-contained world, there is the similarity between Beastar and Hoshiki no Kunis.
Yeah, I guess so. Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
although in Hoseki no Kune there are episodes where, like the one where Foss goes underwater
Yep.
with the
Yeah,
little her
but
traveling guide. You know, that's like a different part of that world that they
yeah,
visit.
but they have like only three like kind of species. So I say, so they have like the germs, they have like the moon people, and they have
The
like
Lunarians, yeah.
yeah. So
And then Sensei, right?
yeah, and then Sensei is like an entirely different species.
Right.
uh, yeah, so that the self-contained world as well. But like you said, like Hoshiki no Kuni world is like the world. This one is like just by within a school.
Yeah, it's a school, and a lot of it feels kind of similar to other high school anime, if I'm being honest. Like the ikemen,
Yep.
senpai, voiced of because of course he is by Yuki Ono, whose voice I like when it comes out of an animal's mouth, I can't accept it.
Yep.
He just he voices so many of those sorts of characters that I just see a human's face, like superimposed on the stag face. I see a human's face with antlers coming out of it when I hear his voice. I really am not a fan of him as a Seiyu.
All right.
But that's obviously a very specific and personal gripe
Yep.
that I have.
Yep.
But I mean, the character he plays is one that you can find in like every high school anime, pretty much. And the girls who throw Rabbit Girl's mattress out the window, her roommates.
Yep.
The bully girls who, gang up on the shoujo protagonist.
Yep.
That exists in every anime. Like, I mean,
Uh,
I know they're animals, but
Yep. Yep. It's true.
they're still like not doing anything too new.
Yep. All right.
Which is not necessarily a bad thing, depending on how the characters how the relationships evolve as time goes on. That sort of stock introduction could be totally acceptable. It's just going to depend on where we go from here.
Yep. All right. So let's get into the last show, which is Babylon.
Right.
So
More like boring, Lon.
yep. So you put that at 7 out of 8. I just
Yes.
wonder what the 8.
It's
Oh,
6.
the 8
Is it
is
6?
having it.
Is it 6 for you? I can't remember.
No, it's 5th.
Really? Okay, cool.
All right. I must say at first it's run exactly like a by the book crime procedure.
Yeah, kind of a stiff and dull one at first.
Yeah, I like it though. I like how like how the story, all the crime escalate. And I just want to see like how far this is gonna reach, because I don't know is it gonna be I don't know if it's gonna be reaching the sky or not in its ambition.
Well, I mean, I'll say that it's gonna have a hard time topping the first episode after that twist.
Yep, yep, that's true. Oh.
I mean, that's the only reason I didn't put Babylon 8th instead of 7th,
Yeah,
was that twist at the end. Yeah, that bumped it up one rank for me.
one.
I almost put it above Vinland Saga, honestly, just on the strength of that twist at the end. Because when I was watching this, I was eating chips with hummus, so I would have to like look down at the container of hummus to dip the chip.
All right.
So I would have to look away from the screen. Like I did it strategically when no one was talking, so I wouldn't miss any subtitles.
Yep.
But when that happened at the end of the episode, like I put down my chips, and I was just like, "Whoa, that was a pretty crazy like that was a game changer."
Yeah.
Same with Hoshiai no Sora.
All right.
The thing that makes it wow, I just lost hearing in one ear.
Cool.
The thing that makes it really interesting is that like the way that the guy commits suicide
Yep.
is so similar to the case that they were investigating.
Right. Right.
I mean, not the method or anything, but just the fact that his character was taken care of so easily and so conveniently, just like the what's his face, the advisor
Yep.
to the diet member, whatever he was.
Yep.
He was also taken care of like very conveniently.
Yep.
In the lead up to this presidential or not presidential campaign.
Yep.
Prime Minister, right?
No, nah. It's not. It's a prime minister. Let me see here. It's more like something of provincial stuff.
Okay. Gotcha. Did you notice that the guy looks a lot like Trump?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, he has the same comb over and the different colored hair on the sides of his head compared to the top. I mean, he doesn't have like that orangish, gross looking Cheeto hair, but he does and like his general build and his kind of his smug look on his face. He was one. I promise you, he was designed with
Trump.
with that guy in mind. Yeah.
Yep.
So I kind of got a kick out of that.
Oh.
um.
Yep. So after like after the whole thing run down, I'm gonna watch the second and the third episode to see like how everything, have has progressed. But
Right. Since yeah, we do have those 2 episodes out. Yeah.
so
Yeah. How are they going to recover from a major, like a quote unquote major character dying?
yeah. Well, so yeah, I think it's not major at all.
Yeah. I mean, it was major enough for me to like sit up and pay attention when it happened.
Yep, that's true.
Because you expect that he's going to be like the rookie cop, who like gradually learns from his mentor over the course of the series, and then
Yep,
they pull the rug out from under you.
yep. And the guy who write the story is this guy from Kado the Rancher as well. So I'm interested to see like how how because from Kado the Rancher, which I have very mixed reception about. I still think about it as something funny. I actually think a lot about Kado the Rancher.
Yeah, you know my opinion on it.
Yep.
It's it's definitely a strange one.
Yeah, what is your opinion on it though? Tell me again.
That I was okay with the twist.
Oh, right. Yeah, well,
Yeah, I actually respect the twist, which almost no one else does.
yep. Yeah, so I'm really really interested to see how he how he come up, how he uh develop the stories.
Well, I mean, Babylon is based on a novel, whereas Kato is based on a manga.
Yep.
So I think there's going to be a big difference in the way that they're adapted just based on that fact alone.
All right.
I mean, Babylon feels more like a novel.
Hold on. Is it Kado the Rancher based on a manga? I think it's the original project.
No, I'm pretty sure it's based on a manga.
All right.
Goodell will check me on that.
Written by him. Because
Let's
I know that he penned that.
Oh, it is an original. You're right. My
Yeah.
bad.
Yep. And this is
Okay.
based on the novel written by him. So yeah, the format might be
Oh.
different.
Okay, so the novel's written by him. All right, I was completely ignorant of that. My bad.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, the format might be different, but like I wonder like how he gonna develop the story. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I am probably not going to watch any more of this, but
yeah,
I definitely I mean, I shouldn't say anything definitely. Like
Yep.
I thought it was pretty drab. Like there are so many scenes of 2 or 3 people in a dimly lit room talking to each other from across a desk.
yep, it does.
That happens way too much. I was like I can't hang on. I can't hang in there
Yep.
for this whole episode. But I did. And then the scene at the bar where the cop gets his journalist friend to investigate for him just by saying, "Oh, what are we? We're best friends." Like that's not a very strong relationship in terms of scripting there.
Yep, agree.
Like the journalist guy literally just exists to feed him some information so we can move on with the episode.
Yep, and we can get some more information out of him in the future.
Right.
Get
He'll
the
probably recur.
get the ball rolling.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, you need characters like that in procedural, like crime procedurals, crime dramas, but it does not feel good to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm a robot when I watch a scene like that.
All right. So to wrap everything up, the 4 show that we're gonna take so far because they're gonna.
Well, hold up.
Yep.
We're not doing 4, right?
Well, we take 4 now, and then we see how Chihara Furu, um, Psychopath 3, and High Score
High
Girl
Score Girl.
2 gonna be before, right?
Oh, that's the plan. Okay, cool. So what are the 4 shows?
Yep.
Wait, why didn't we do? I thought the whole point was that we were only going to pick like 2 or 3 out of the 8, and that's why we didn't do 10.
Yeah, but is it gonna? Because I just think that if we're gonna do, like to pick 2 or 3, that's gonna give like Chihara Furu an advantage.
Well, here's the problem.
Yeah.
There's a clear first place series here, and then there's 2 with 6 points and 2 with 9 points. That's 5.
Nah, actually no. So there's like one winner. Yeah, 2 with 6 points, 2 with 9 points. Yep.
Yeah, so that's 5. Why don't we just take the top 3?
All right, let's go with that.
Is that
Let's roll with that. I think that is a better idea.
Yeah, because then we don't have to. I don't have to like fight for Kabukichou Sherlock here. Because that's technically that's in the top 5. That's tied with No Guns Life. But I think it's fine to do just Hoshiai no Sora,
Yep.
Blade of the Immortal, and Beastars.
For now, yes.
I mean, I think that a lot of people are probably of the opinion that those are the 3 strongest shows that have aired so far.
Oh, that is my opinion. So I think I got like them as my top 3. Yep.
Oh, you do? Wow.
So yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with having all 3 of them.
I'm certain that you are.
And like Chihara Furu or Psychopath 3, that's gonna be great. Perfect.
Well, or High Score Girl. I mean, I think we were leaning towards either Chihayafuru or High Score Girl.
That's right.
Because you're not like the biggest Psychopaths fan.
Not the
We
second
might
season.
consider. Yeah, we might consider doing Psychopaths if the first episode is really good.
That's right.
But the same guy is writing the 3rd season who wrote the 2nd. So
Yep. All right.
that's not a good sign.
That's not a good size. So, next week we're gonna is Chihara Furu start next week? Oh, sorry. So is all those 3 shows gonna be aired by the time next week?
No.
Oh,
All of
okay.
them are more than 7 days away. So we won't do an episode on any of them until like November 10th because we're planning on taking a couple of weeks break
Yep.
pretty soon here.
Yeah. But next week we're gonna finish Hades Girl of the
Heidi?
Apps, Kyosho Giga, and the
Yep.
3 and the 3 current season shows.
Right. Yes. And then after that we will take a 2-week break. Then we will come back
Stronger
with
than
a bit
ever.
of a new. Yeah, exactly. Rested, recuperated, refreshed, raring to go.
Yep.
We'll have a new lineup. We'll have a new classic show. We'll have added, one of these sequels that we're looking at towards the end of this fall season added
Yep.
to the lineup. And then we will keep on trucking till we get to the end of November. We're gonna do another top 50. We're gonna finalize our top 50 list. We're gonna lock it in.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna spend my entire month of December blocking out the rest of the world and making a video,
Wow.
pouring my entire life into it and seeing no monetary return. It's gonna be sick.
That's gonna be sick.
I'm kidding. I'm sure it's gonna be fun.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Enjoy the fall season, everybody.
See ya.